extra time.
2 घंटे में डिलीवरी, विश यू अ स्पीडी रिकवरी। कोई भी दवा अब नहीं करो मिस, दवाई चाहिए ASAP तो बस एक अपोलो 24/7 डिलीवर करे आपकी पूरी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन सिर्फ 2 घंटों में।
How much would he improve the balance of the team if he plays on Thursday?
Yeah, I mean that's why he's been called into the squad. He has the capabilities with both bat and ball. He's in, albeit short format, he's in serious form at the minute. Playing with great confidence, and we all know what he's capable of in the Test arena. Seen it before, capable of scoring big hundreds, winning the game with the ball as well. And he's a fine cricketer.
He's not played a home Test match in 2 years. Chennai Test was the only game he's played in 2 years. Is that a source of regret to you, Joe?
Say again, sorry.
The fact that he's only played 1 Test match in 2 years and hasn't played a home Test match since the Ashes of 2019, is that a source of regret to you?
No, I think we try and manage things as best as we can over a period of time. And as I say, I've always been a huge fan of Mo. I think he's a wonderful cricketer across the formats. I think he's a great ambassador of the game, and it's great to see him back in the Test arena. It's great to see him back in the Test squad. I thought it was a brilliant performance he put in Chennai, and it's a nice to see him back around things. And if he gets an opportunity, I'm sure he'll be desperate to impress and show everyone how good he is in Test cricket as well as white ball cricket.
And are we right to think as well, if he's recalled now, he is going to play?
Well, he's certainly a great contender. I mean, we've not been to the ground yet, so it'd be nice to look at conditions and weigh things up. But he's certainly in a great position to potentially play.
Can you just say if Ollie Pope's fit to play in this match as well yet?
Yeah, I mean, again, it'd be nice to see him get through another fitness test tomorrow. But he should be. That's the plan, is for him to be up and running and ready to go. So again, that gives us another option, another opportunity. To have another player available for selection.
Chris Silverwood was talking up Haseeb Hameed yesterday. We all remember his Test debut way back in 2016 in India. You played in that match. I mean, how much has he changed physically? Obviously, he's very different to then. I mean, how would you compare him to then when he made his Test debut?
One thing I'd say about Has is, ever since the first day I met him, I've been extremely impressed of him as a person, as maturity, as a young man then. I think it served him really well throughout a very difficult spell of his career, and now you're seeing him come into some really good form. He looks like his game's grown. You talk about him physically growing. I think his game's grown as well. He's added shots to what is a very strong defence, and has turned himself into a brilliant player. His work ethic is outstanding, and he thinks about the game extremely well. So. It's been great to have him in and around the squad throughout this summer, and if he gets an opportunity, then I'm sure he'll again look to take that with both hands and try and make position his own in this team.
As part of a 5-man attack, then you obviously have to drop a batsman. If Pope comes back, that's 2 batsmen. If Hameed plays, that's 3 batsmen. So potentially some changes to the batting lineup. Would that be fair to say?
Potentially, yeah. There's a lot of options that we can go with currently, and I think that's a nice thing about bringing Mo into the squad. And it gives us a number of different ways in which we can go, and in ways we can balance the team out. So it'll all be taken into consideration. As I say, we'll try and pick the side that we think is best going to win here in the conditions that we get.
Just wondering if you could explain the process as much as anything, but. As was made mention, Mo hasn't played a home Test in quite some time. So, in essence, what has changed from this time last week when he wasn't in the squad to today when he is?
Well, I think when we first initially picked the squad, obviously Ben was in that. We also looked at where we thought Chris Woakes was at in terms of coming back from his injury, and we thought that he'd be up and running and available coming into this game, and that's not quite materialised. Looking at Mo and how he's playing and what he's capable of doing and how he can balance out the side, it seems like a very sensible way managing that. Yes, he's not played a lot, but he has got bags of experience, and I think that holds a lot of weight in the situation, the times we're in right now.
We obviously know that Moeen's Test career has been there's been some huge highs along the way. There's been some tough times as well. What have you learned about captaining him during this time, and what's your message going to be to him going into this Test match?
To go out there and be Moeen Ali. You know, he is, like you say, he has the ability to go and win games on his own with bat and ball. He's proven that in the past. You know, he plays his best cricket when he's enjoying it, and he's full of confidence. And you know, it certainly looks that way at the moment. The way he's taken to the 100, the way he's led his team, and I think as well, I quite happily give him a huge amount of responsibility if he gets a chance to play, because he responds extremely well to that. He's a leader within the dressing room, great personality. He drags people with him on the field, in the dressing room. So it'd be great to have him back around.
And just a question on Haseeb as well. I know you touched on how much he impressed you right from the word go, but bearing in mind everything he's kind of been through since, you always talk about no player has had it smoothly. Even yourself, you got dropped at one stage. Probably no one's expecting what Haseeb has gone through, but do you think that ultimately will make him a Test player of some vintage, because it's just been such a difficult time for him?
Yeah, and I think more than anything, it takes a huge strength of character to be able to go through something like that and get yourself back into a position that he's in right now. I think that was one of the most impressive things about it, really, is how I mentioned his maturity and the way he handles himself. He's a great student of the game. He has a very good understanding of how he wants to go and score his runs and how he wants to play the game. And it's great to see him back in an England shirt. We could all see the potential there when he went out to India and he played those games, and it was sort of a really unfortunate way for him to finish the tour and start the following summer. I think it was very difficult. You break your finger and then you go back into a county season trying to get back into that team, if you like, or start the season well to cement that spot back down again. And it can be very tricky as a young man at the top of the order. But I think the way he's come back from that, like you say, it's really impressive. And he's got all the attributes there. It's about trying to grasp that opportunity when it comes.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.